Hello and welcome. This is Becca from Willow Hill Designs. I hope everyone is doing well. Today in this video I will be choosing the winner of the gift that I have chosen to share with someone. When my channel reached over 3,000 subscribers, I wanted to share a little giveaway, and so if you commented on the last video and the last two videos, you would be in the drawing for this gift, and I'll explain a little bit more in depth about who was put in the drawing. And also at the very end of the video, I'll be sharing a couple of quilts that I'm working on. I've had people ask me to share these quilts, some of the things that I'm working on, and it'll be just a quick sharing, nothing really in depth. I will do a couple of in-depth videos on both of these quilts later on when they're completely finished, but I'll just share what I'm working on, and also a little project that I'm working on in between the Roxy's Journal of Stitchery Field Notes project. But so let's get started. I will share first, before I choose the winner, I'll show what I'm sharing. I'll be putting this little piece of muslin on there. Thanks so much. And first of all, your gift will be wrapped in this, in this doily, which I think is just beautiful. It's very vintage looking, very delicate and beautiful. The color ivory on this, I think, is gorgeous. So there will be a little doily that will go with that. And now these will be some things from Rachel of Roxy's Creations, Rachel in Italy. So these are some of her offerings that I purchased from her: some birds and a flower for slow stitching, maybe thread painting, a butterfly, something with script, and maybe that green color would go with whatever you're working on. Some ephemera, and some words here. Looks like I think this might be Italian, I'm not sure. This looks like it might be part of a syllabario, sort of like a little school book where they might teach you the different words. This looks like something from a ledger. This is French, pounds, total pounds. This looks like it's part of a manifesto, maybe a travel manifesto, 1832, 1833. That's interesting. Some figures here that could be a nice little addendum to something. Some French. This is French. Talking about coffee, and this is also some French script, and here's some figures on linen, and a capital A that's really very pretty with the blue flowers, and it looks like some type of a crest. This is very pretty design. Makes me think of maybe wallpaper collaged with something. Looks like it's also maybe from that syllabario. And this is some Italian script. And this is an interesting image. Now these are from Rachel's shop. Here's another one of those doilies, which I think are beautiful, and they go with this doily. The coloring looks nice. This is a bird from some of my fabrics that I thought might be fun to thread paint or to include in a slow stitch somehow. Some pretty fabrics that might go with some of the others. This is from Beatrix Potter. This is also from that same line. I've been asked about the little characters that are in my slow stitch journals, And so I thought I would include some of this. Was a new fabric line that I had just purchased with a quilt in mind, Mrs. Rabbit, Peter Rabbit, and his little siblings. This is kind of like a storybook style, part of that fabric. And this is kind of like a, this is a decorator weight fabric, upholstery weight fabric. Thought that these flowers could be thread painted, might be very pretty. It could be the cover for a needle book. Could really do anything with that. And this is also that same fabric. And some crocheted lace, which might be pretty in a slow stitch. This is kind of like a piece of bridal lace, a length of a delicate pink lace as well. Another crocheted lace. This looks like a vintage color. I don't know if it was coffee dyed or not, but that could look very vintage in a piece. Some Alençon lace. A motif from a larger piece of lace. Another one of the birds from my fabrics. And I have two pieces of a kind of a silky, shiny grosgrain ribbon, which might be pretty to use in here. And then some butterflies that could be thread painted or just slow stitched in. Some different butterflies. So that will be that package that I'll be sending out to someone, to some lucky winner. So let's choose the winner. I was going to have my little grandson, Easton, help me draw the winner, but this weekend was our daughter's birthdays, and it was just kind of a busy time, and then everyone was here yesterday, which was Sunday, and we were coloring fall pictures and Halloween pictures, and between that and dinner, I just didn't get a chance to write all the names on the little pieces of paper. I'll be choosing the old-fashioned way since I'm not quite sure how to do the number generator. And I don't know if I said it in the beginning, but when you have subscribers on your laptop, you can only see the ones that publicly display their subscriptions. So out of 3,200, about 700 show up on my laptop. And from there, I went through the 2 videos to see who was subscribed. So that was one way that I chose the names that would go in here. So I'm sorry if you are subscribed, but you weren't publicly listed. I had no way of knowing. And also the other people that I put in were people that have been with me for quite a while that comment regularly on my videos. So that's how I chose the people that would be in with this drawing. So let's get to it and let's choose someone. Okay, who do we have here? I've got somebody. Melody Peck, 655. Melody Peck, you are the winner. So if you will just send me an email at willowhillquilts@icloud.com and just give me your physical address, I will send you this gift, Melody. So congratulations, you are the winner. And thank you for participating. So that was fun. This has been fun for me to set this gift up, and I hope you like it. I hope you can use a lot of what's in it. Now I'll just share a couple of the quilts that I've been working on. This is one of the quilts. that I have been working on. And this is a Tilda fabric. I'll try to show you the border here. This is a Tilda fabric, and it's from the Hibernation line. And the little animals that are in this fabric are a little mouse, a little squirrel, and a little bird that are hibernating. And they are the center of the stars in this quilt. And generally I don't repeat the same block over and over when I make a quilt, but I just love these little animals, and I thought I'd like to showcase them in that way in a star. And after I had made all the stars, 25, there's 5 across and 5 down, this very neutral fabric here in the background of the stars, it's called eucalyptus. Well, it just seemed very dull to me, just kind of drab. It just didn't really do anything for the stars. So I decided that I would take this kind of a peachy, pinky color in this little mouse, in the strawberry here and in the berries. If you can see that, I decided to take that color and kind of accentuate that. It's also in the cornerstones, these little squares right here, the cornerstones for the sashing. So what I did after all of those blocks were made, I cut out 100 of these triangles and turned the edges under, and I appliqued them to each block. So there's 100 per block and 25 blocks, so that's 100. And I machine stitched them on with a buttonhole stitch just to kind of give it a little pop. And there's some of that pink here, and I did some of it on the border. And there'll also be a thin border, one more thin of this same color, this peach, and then a brown border with these colors in it on the outside. And so this was really a fun quilt, and I love Tilda's fabrics. I think they're just beautiful. Here's some more of that peach again. I did 2 of the brown flying geese along the border, and then 1 with the peach. I can't think of a name for this quilt. They're hibernating, and I thought maybe sleepy time, nap time, forest friends. I don't know. I usually never have a problem naming a quilt. I just can't seem to come up with anything for this. So if you have any suggestions, I would appreciate them. I would love it. And the other thing I did on this quilt was I just hand stitched around each of the center blocks again to make them show up a bit more, give them a little more definition with a black pearl cotton with a stem stitch. And then on these lines here, I did a stitch on the machine with a 12 weight black sulky, again just to kind of add a little punch to it, give it a little definition. So this quilt is all done other than that narrow outside peachy border, this color that will go here, and then the brown. So this one is just about finished. I can't wait to send that off to the quilter. And then I have been working on a Twilight Stars quilt. I had been following Lisa Bonjean's Twilight Stars and making these little blocks, and these blocks are probably finish at 3/4 of an inch. I don't think that they're an inch. And there's 16 of these little blocks in each of the Twilight Stars. So I only made about 16 of those. And I said, oh, that'll just take me forever. So I also did a star with a 9 patch in the center and alternated with these Twilight Stars. So here are my rows that are ready to be sewn together. These are the rows, and I have a quilt that I had drawn out, and I will share that. I'll share that at a later date. These are the rows, 1, 2, 3. that are done so far. So in each of the four corners there'll be this tulip block, and then this block forms kind of a diamond border around the interior of the quilt, and this is a second interior border, this black one, to the interior, which is set up like a almost a trip around the world with these Twilight stars. And the Twilight stars, again, these are 16 little teeny tiny blocks in here, and then you construct the star, and then I put some sashing around them. So this is row 1, and here's the tulip border. And then row 2, this is row 2, which starts with the diamond because it goes out from the top, it goes out to the sides, and this is that secondary border, and a Twilight star, the 9-patch star, another Twilight, and just going across. That's row 2. And row 3 starts with the black secondary border, and then a Twilight star, the 9-patch, Twilight star, 9-patch, Twilight star, 9-patch. And so they look kind of like, if I can show you, they kind of look like this, and they kind of build out. They go, the Twilight stars go out, and then the 9-patch stars. It's hard to show because I'm probably a little bit too close. And here's the first one. Let me move that out of the way. This is the top row here. And it goes like this with the tulip block, and then we start forming that border, the first border, or the, well, I guess that would be the outer and the inner secondary border, and then the Twilight stars going out from here at the top and going across. So this is what I'm working on now, putting this together. There's a couple of more borders when I get this interior done. That one I'd like for my bed in the fall, at the end of my bed. And the other little project that I'm working on, this is called Birdie's Year by Bonnie Sullivan. And I've had this, oh gosh, well, this says 2013 is when she designed this, excuse me. Not sure when I bought it, but I've had it in my map chest where I have my purchased patterns, and I very rarely purchase a pattern. I generally design all of my own, but this was something I loved. And there's I don't know if they're supposed to be, it's quite a while since I've had it. I don't know if they're supposed to be little placemats or what, but there's one for every month of the year, January, February, and so on. This is November, and I loved it because it just makes me think of fall, and I love fall. It's one of my favorite times of the year. So I may just put this together and join each of the 12 and make a quilt out of it. So, and this is done on flannel. This is not wool. Nothing of this is wool. So the background is this kind of a black watch plaid, or I shouldn't say that, what is that called? Oh, I can't think of it right now, but it's a brown and black flannel. And then all of these little pieces that are on here, and there will be 3 little buttons for the berries in the bird's mouth. I decided you're supposed to do this all raw edge, and I don't really care for raw edge applique at all. I just don't like it. So these are all turned edge. These are all, the edges of these are turned under. So these are all set to stitch, and I will do that in the evenings when I'm not working on the Roxy's Journal of Stitchery. There'll be a little stem here for this leaf, and the bird's little legs, and the berries hanging out of its mouth. But I just think that's so adorable. And then there will be these half square triangles that go around the outside of this applique block. So there's piecing. And again, they all have this brown background flannel. And I think what I'll do is just put them together as one big quilt, rather than probably some kind of a little mat that you might put out for the seasons. I think I'd like it to be one big quilt. So that's the other thing that I'm working on, and having fun with these things. So thank you very much for joining me today, and I'm happy for you, Melody Peck 655. And if you will email me at willowhillquilts@icloud.com, I will, and send me your physical address, I will send your gift out to you. And if I don't hear from you in, say, 2 weeks, I will give you 2 weeks. If I don't hear from you by then, I will do another drawing. I will choose someone else. So hopefully I will hear from you, Melody. And so thank you very much for joining me today, everyone. Wishing you many blessings, and see you in the next video. Bye for now.